Prostitution is often referenced as one of the world's oldest trades. Despite this fact, it remains illegal in many countries, including Ghana. The practice has been very mendable to change, adopting new technology and trends to keep alive. Perhaps the internet has been one of the most revolutionizing technologies to impact the work of the sex workers. Hookup is one of the glorified names for prostitution these days, mostly used among the younger generations. It mostly involves soliciting for sex via the internet, sometimes with the sexual act happening virtually. The convenience and perhaps the reach of the internet has made it a worryingly flourishing venture, seeing young females joining the practice in their numbers by the day. Poverty is often the referenced excuse. But at the heart of the commercially viable sex industry is the dastardly business of semen trade. Female prostitutes trade in used condoms containing semen of their clients, who are believed to be involved in money rituals. The practice our initial investigations revealed is common in the Upper West, Ashanti and Greater Accra regions. Located at the outskirts of the Wa town is Odo Hotel. The hotel plays host to some ladies suspected to be involved in the sale of semen of their clients. The practice, we understand, had persisted for years in the Upper West region. Here, the used condoms containing semen from these sex workers are sold to only persons known to them. In order to gain their confidence, I had to pose as money ritualist, popularly known as Sakawa Boy, who was urgently in need of semen to satisfy his ritual requirement. I met the lead member of the semen selling syndicate after my fixer earlier engaged her about my intent. Despite the engagement with my fixer, her trust was not won over easily.
If you are trying people, don't use nonsense and meet me.
It took 5 days to convince her to sell the semen to me. After I convinced her that I belonged to a secret cult and that the semen needed was for a ritual. The leader of the syndicate, Gloria, met me in the hotel I was lodging to deliver her first consignment of 15 used condoms containing semen. After receiving her cash and certifying me as a genuine client, she introduced her compatriot Favor also to me.
You can remove the test.
The ladies supplied a total of 25 pieces of used condoms containing semen of their clients and received cash. After obtaining evidence of the sperm sale, I invited Gloria to my hotel again, but this time I disclosed my identity to her and inquired from her why she engages in that practice.
If somebody bring me Ghana, yes, I should come and use my vagina and pay 50 million. And I pay the money.
You finish paying?
Yes, I pay the money, so I have to live for my own. Why? My mother knows I'm paying this thing. She will disown me. Hey, I'm the only daughter of my mother.
The group operating in Wa is also affiliated to other groups in Accra. That was a year ago when I exposed the work of these young ladies engaged in the sale of semen to suspected ritualists in Wa in the Upper West region. I am making a follow-up visit back to the town to ascertain the latest developments. The Odo Hotel was my first port of call.
What's up? How are you?
Hafiz is the new manager of the hotel. He was appointed to manage the facility after the owner sacked the previous managers and ejected the sex workers who were mainly involved in the semen trade. Hafiz confirmed that the CEO's action was in direct response to the sperm merchants' expose.
Was it a deliberate attempt to kick them out from here?
We were having some issues. That was one of the reasons why they were
Issues.
They said they were sperm work for children.
So the owner sacked them.
Upon a request, he linked me to 2 other locations in Wa where the sex workers now ply their trade.
That place, they
Oh, okay.
doesn't just do it purposely to keep the girls.
Oh,
You
okay.
understand? So they don't lodge there. People don't lodge there. It's only the girl. So when you are inside, either you want to drink or you go for the ladies.
Which place is that?
Mazisco. No, I don't like going there because many people know me.
Oh,
So I just enter there now. So
There are plenty. Eh? The girls are there plenty.
there are plenty, but the place is in town too.
Oh, okay.
So the moment you enter there, everybody is watching.
The team headed for 2 major hotels in Wa Township where the trade takes place. Meet Rejoice, not her real name, a sex worker at the Odo Hotel Annex. She recounted how she narrowly escaped a police swoop when their brothels were raided following the expose from the sperm merchants documentary the year prior.
That day we ran back because
You ran.
everybody did formation. I mean, I have to run. Should I stay?
But apart from yesterday, do they come around to disturb you?
That was last year before we traveled.
After the sperm thing came out.
After the sperm thing.
Did they arrest some of you guys?
Yeah, there is plenty now. There is plenty, but they didn't get me.
You had information, so you ran away.
No, that I'm not feeling fine. So I left the place. So immediately I left there. It's now up to 30 minutes. Another police come.
She says subsequent raids by the police and immigration service personnel at their brothels have been frequent.
Are you talking to me?
This is Mazisco, a popular entertainment center in Wa, a place noted for its vibrant nightlife. It is also a location where the trade of sex is a common feature. Its cubicles serves as brothels for mainly Nigerian sex workers. Happiness is one of the numerous sex workers here. She had already spent 4 months at the brothel at the time I met her in March 2024. She opened up about her venture into prostitution but denied knowledge about the sale of semen of clients.
We can't sell it. Why we can't sell it? Say, any lady that try to sell that thing, they kill yourself because what you do that man will do you. Because they wear the condom, go for the thing. And this condom enter your body. So automatically your body is dead, the man body is dead. So anything you do to affect that man, will also affect you. So they don't have that sex.
Happiness alleged she is one of several girls trafficked to Ghana to engage in the sex trade. She said she was set free after she paid off her supposed madam, who was her pimp. She said she sleeps with several men a day to raise money.
Yeah, I serve my madam. Where they carry me go when I serve madam, before I call you.
What was that?
That was that exercise.
That year, so.
Yes, that day they work there. 2 days that they work 30 million.
2 days.
2 days.
Which means a day you can sleep with like 30 people.
Possible. As long as money is involved.
She, however, laments frequent raids of their brothel by immigration officers, especially after the expose, is now affecting their patronage. She further revealed that men who patronize sex workers in Wa now demand to take home their used condoms containing their semen. Out of fear, their semen will be sold to cultists.
There's some people that will come with their condom. So when they're going, they'll go with it.
But do these men easily get their request granted by the sex workers?
But we don't allow anyone to carry a condom. If the man say no want to keep her, yeah, say you want to carry a go. Instead of the man to carry a go, you take it and flush it.
Prostitution in the Upper West Regional Capital is a fast-growing trade, with new recruits coming in every day. But in the face of the booming sex work, traditional authorities say they are repositioning themselves to deal with the phenomenon of semen sale in Wa.
Yes, the traditional authority, for that matter, His Majesty the one received the news about that development with shock, in the sense that it kind of exposed the weakness of the moral fiber of our society.
The Wa Traditional Council, which was alarmed by the expose, wants the police to enforce the laws of the land to the letter.
Wala State, being in a state of shock and dissatisfaction at the time, immediately expected that the security institutions would have by now dealt with the matter, in that it is illegal under the laws of the country, Ghana. And so if there was evidence, as the TV3 showed in that documentary, that people were engaging in that illegal activity called commercial sex, with that diphthony issue of the sale of sperms as well, then our expectation was that immediately the police in particular and all other relevant state institutions should look into the matter decisively and clamp down on that practice, whether it had to do with the closure of the facilities that hosted these commercial sex traders, or taking the owners and management of such facilities through the appropriate legal processes.
The divisional chief of the Wala State described the semen sale by the sex workers as abominable and pledged immediate measure to stop the practice.
We may not need to sit down and say we are, formulating bylaws again, because our system already has its own set of rules against it. We are talking about the moral fiber of our society, and we are thinking that as Africans, this is not something that we should be identified with.
But while the authorities in Wa may be working to fighting the worrying trend, it may seem this isn't a battle for them alone to handle.
Pour it on the floor.
The semen merchants in Wa are affiliated to other syndicates in Accra. Kiki and Sharon are into inter-regional hookah business and also members of the network deeply rooted in the semen sale cartel. Sharon said she has initiated 10 young ladies into prostitution who supply her with men's used condoms upon request by suspected cultists. She claims majority of her sperm suppliers reside in Accra.
Condom then no hotels are cleaners no. no mo ye fa na waka trom so mo pay nti omo ye adwuma no omo pom omo tumi yi into committing back on jana one man tip kakra because baby I was so dey kono scan me dru nti they say ono so onya share we hwan right dem papa kundit but baby am je ade na kasa pa no eye la bad.
I have come to La to meet a group of young individuals disturbed by Sharon's revelations.
Upon hearing the name of Labadi, I was quite, shocked. Not because I patronize, but knowing that these are the kind of things that are happening around me alone is, alarming.
When I heard that this place is the headquarters, I became like, wow, then this place is really a hell for us to live. And that draws back to our leaders, the leaders of the La community, to wake up and do something about what is going on, because it's not just about the people who are patronizing, but everyone is involved. Initially, we didn't have perceptions about the happenings of these things. We wake up, we go about our normal duties, we walk freely. But then with something like this coming out, it brings a different kind of tension to our daily lives all together. Because now you begin to wonder where yours might have been if you patronize those kind of things, if you are a patron.
I was shocked, very, very shocked, because semen, as you see, it's actually blood. It's blood in a different form. And knowing that I'm a man, and I'm the one who forms a child, then it means that this is my blood being carried away. And of course, anything that a person does with it, whether to take it to a ritualist or even pronounce anything on it, it's going to work. So me seeing that actually was a shock to me.
They fear hospitality firms in the area are no longer safe for them.
If you don't patronize them, personally, I don't do. But the part that struck me is where the hotel attendants are also involved into the business. That's the part that got me a bit scared, because once in a while, you take your babe out to have some nice time outside. So that is the part that got me scared. But then, personally, after everything, I make sure, I don't know, unconsciously, when I finish, I make sure I don't leave my rubber over there. It's something I used to do, but not because I knew all the revelations that came out.
Even married couples are no longer safe, because they also do sometimes go on vacations. And those vacations, of course, they end up in hotel rooms because they want to have a quiet time together and their peace of mind. They finish having an affair and they drop their semen in their hotel bin, and these hotel attendants give it out to these ladies. And it's not surprising that we wake up these days to what a shock. Young guys, young girls dying, and we have no answers to the question as to where those deaths are coming from.
For this youth, the Sperm Merchant documentary has been an eye-opener. Subsequent investigations revealed that the sperm selling syndicate persists, but it isn't a situation that a victim is likely to know or feel an immediate impact of, thus making the fight against the practice a difficult one to address. Even more difficult is the inability of any government to fight prostitution and eradicate it totally in the face of technological advancement that has boosted the trade. Perhaps tackling prostitution as much as possible, especially amongst young, desperate to be rich young people, could be the first step in a battle that could take decades, if not centuries. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 assignment. Wow.